You ever wake up and immediately feel like you're already behind? Like no matter what you do, it's never enough? That constant voice in your head saying, you're not doing enough. You're not good enough. Yeah, that's not motivation. That's self-doubt. And the truth is, it's not random. It's the result of toxic patterns you've been repeating for years, without even realizing it. Let's talk about them. Because once you see these patterns, you'll never see yourself the same way again. And that's where real confidence starts. Not by pretending you're confident, but by breaking the habits that destroy it. You compare your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. You scroll through social media, see someone crushing it, better job, better body, better lifestyle, and your brain whispers, you're falling behind. But you're not comparing equals. You're comparing their best 5 seconds to your worst 24 hours. And that's how self-doubt grows. It feeds off illusions, other people's filtered wins, versus your raw reality. Here's the truth. Nobody posts their doubts, their fights, their nights of feeling lost. Everyone is struggling with something, even the people you admire. The only real competition you have is with the person you were yesterday. Every minute you spend comparing yourself to others is a minute you could have spent building yourself. Stop keeping score in a game that doesn't even exist. You mistake overthinking for preparation. You replay conversations in your head, overanalyze decisions, question your worth before you've even tried. You tell yourself, I'm just being careful. But you're not being careful. You're being scared. You're trying to think your way out of fear, instead of acting your way through it. You don't need more time to think. You need more time to try. Because clarity doesn't come from sitting around, it comes from doing. Every time you delay action, you teach your brain that your fear is valid. But every time you move, even a little, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than your anxiety tells you. Action kills doubt faster than reassurance ever could. You seek validation before giving yourself permission. You want to start that business, change careers, post your art. But first you wait for someone to say, yeah, that's a good idea. You've made external approval the price of internal peace. And that's dangerous. Because when your self-worth depends on others, you'll always feel one step away from losing it. Here's what's real. The people you're waiting for permission from are too busy doubting themselves to validate you. The only person who can decide you're ready is you. Confidence doesn't come from being liked. It comes from showing up when no one claps. You don't need validation to start. You need courage to not care. You set impossible standards and then punish yourself for not meeting them. You say things like, I'll be happy when I lose 10 pounds. I'll feel good once I make X amount of money. I'll finally rest once everything's perfect. And guess what? You never do. Because the finish line keeps moving. No matter how much you achieve, your brain finds a new reason why it's not enough. This is what perfectionism really is. Not a pursuit of excellence, but a fear of being seen as less. You don't need to lower your standards. You need to raise your self-compassion. You're allowed to be proud of yourself while still wanting more. You're allowed to rest without earning it. And you're allowed to be a work in progress without calling yourself a failure. You apologize for existing. You say sorry for asking questions. You say sorry for speaking up. You even say sorry when someone bumps into you. It sounds small, but it's huge, because it's how you train yourself to shrink. To make yourself less visible, less noticeable, less you. You don't owe the world constant apologies for taking up space. You have the right to exist confidently, to speak your mind, to make mistakes, to take up room, physically, mentally, emotionally. The moment you stop apologizing for existing is the moment people start respecting your presence. Confidence isn't about being loud, it's about being unapologetically you. Now here's the thing, these patterns don't disappear overnight. You've probably lived with them for years, but awareness is step one, because once you see the pattern, you can stop letting it run the show. When you catch yourself comparing, pause. When you overthink, act. When you seek validation, remind yourself, I decide what's enough. When you chase perfection, celebrate progress. And when you want to apologize for being yourself, remember, you're allowed to exist loudly. Self-doubt doesn't vanish when life gets easier. It fades when you stop feeding it. If this hit home, don't just scroll away. Take a second. Reflect on which of these patterns shows up most in your life. Drop it in the comments, not for me, but for you, because naming the problem is the first step to breaking it. And if you want more videos that help you rebuild your mindset piece by piece, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep growing with me. Because you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real, and that's more than enough.